Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a book that has become a cornerstone of business literature. Good to Great: Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't by Jim Collins. If you've ever wondered what separates truly great companies from the merely good ones, this book is for you. Jim Collins, renowned business researcher and author, spent years studying companies that made the leap from good to great and identified the key principles that drove their success. This isn't just a book about theory. It's a data-driven, research-backed guide filled with actionable insights, real-world examples, and timeless principles to help you take your organization to the next level. Whether you're a business leader, entrepreneur, or just someone who loves understanding what makes companies thrive, this book is a must-read. So, grab a notebook, sit back, and let's explore the key ideas, lessons, and takeaways from this transformative book. Overview of the book. Good to Great is the result of a 5-year research project led by Jim Collins and his team. They studied 1,435 companies to identify those that made the leap from good to great, defined as achieving sustained financial performance that significantly outperformed the market, and then compared them to companies that failed to make the leap. The book is divided into 3 main sections. 1. The Good to Great framework. Collins introduces the key concepts and principles that differentiate great companies from good ones. 2. The flywheel and the doom loop. Collins explains how great companies build momentum over time, while others get stuck in a cycle of decline. 3. The role of technology and culture. Collins discusses how great companies use technology and build a culture of discipline to sustain their success. Through a mix of data-driven insights, compelling stories, and practical advice, Collins provides a roadmap for achieving greatness in business. Key themes and lessons. Let's break down the core lessons and themes from Good to Great. These are the ideas that have made this book a must-read for business leaders. 1. Level 5 leadership. One of the central themes of the book is the concept of Level 5 leadership. Collins explains that Level 5 leaders are a unique blend of personal humility and professional will. They are ambitious for the success of their company, not for themselves, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make the company great. Example: Collins shares the story of Darwin Smith, the CEO of Kimberly-Clark, who transformed the company from a mediocre paper company into a leading consumer products company. Smith was a quiet, unassuming leader who focused on the long-term success of the company rather than his own personal glory. The takeaway: Level 5 leadership is essential for achieving greatness. Focus on the success of your organization, not your own personal success. 2. First who, then what. Collins introduces the principle of first who, then what, which emphasizes the importance of getting the right people on the bus and the wrong people off the bus before deciding where to drive it. Great companies focus on hiring the right people and then figuring out the strategy. Example: Collins shares the story of Wells Fargo, which transformed itself from a struggling regional bank into one of the most successful banks in the country. The company's leaders focused on hiring the best people and then figuring out the strategy, which allowed them to adapt and thrive in a changing market. The lesson: focus on getting the right people on the bus before deciding where to drive it. The right people will help you figure out the best strategy. 3. Confront the brutal facts, yet never lose faith. Collins discusses the importance of confronting the brutal facts while maintaining unwavering faith that you will succeed. Great companies face reality head-on, but they never lose sight of their ultimate goal. Example: Collins shares the story of Nucor, a steel company that faced significant challenges in a declining industry. The company's leaders confronted the brutal facts of the industry but maintained faith in their ability to succeed. This allowed them to innovate and become one of the most successful steel companies in the world. The takeaway: confront the brutal facts of your situation, but never lose faith in your ability to succeed. This combination of realism and optimism is essential for achieving greatness. 4. The hedgehog concept. Collins introduces the hedgehog concept, which is based on the idea that great companies focus on what they can be the best at, what drives their economic engine, and what they are deeply passionate about. The intersection of these 3 circles is where greatness lies. Example: Collins shares the story of Walgreens, which transformed itself from a mediocre drugstore chain into one of the most successful retailers in the country. The company's leaders focused on being the best at convenient drugstores, driving profitability through customer convenience, and being passionate about serving their customers. The lesson: focus on what you can be the best at, what drives your economic engine, and what you are deeply passionate about. The intersection of these three circles is where greatness lies. 5. A culture of discipline. Collins emphasizes the importance of building a culture of discipline in great companies. He explains that discipline is not about bureaucracy or control, but about having disciplined people who are committed to the company's goals and values. Example: Collins shares the story of Abbott Laboratories, which transformed itself from a struggling pharmaceutical company into one of the most successful healthcare companies in the world. The company's leaders built a culture of discipline by focusing on hiring disciplined people and creating a clear set of values and goals. The takeaway: a culture of discipline is essential for achieving greatness. Focus on hiring disciplined people and creating a clear set of values and goals. 6. Technology accelerators. Collins discusses the role of technology accelerators in great companies. He explains that great companies use technology to accelerate their momentum, but they do not rely on technology as a primary driver of success. Example: Collins shares the story of Kroger, which transformed itself from a struggling grocery chain into one of the most successful retailers in the country. The company's leaders used technology to improve efficiency and customer service, but they did not rely on technology as a primary driver of success. The lesson: use technology to accelerate your momentum, but do not rely on it as a primary driver of success. Focus on your core strengths and values. 7. The flywheel and the doom loop. Collins introduces the concept of the flywheel and the doom loop, which explains how great companies build momentum over time, while others get stuck in a cycle of decline. The flywheel represents the cumulative effect of consistent, disciplined effort, while the doom loop represents the cycle of decline that occurs when companies lack focus and discipline. Example: Collins shares the story of Circuit City, which went from being a successful electronics retailer to bankruptcy. The company's leaders lacked focus and discipline, which led to a cycle of decline. In contrast, great companies like Walgreens built momentum over time through consistent, disciplined effort. The takeaway: focus on building momentum through consistent, disciplined effort. Avoid the doom loop by staying focused on your core strengths and values. 8. The role of luck. Collins discusses the role of luck in the success of great companies. He explains that while luck can play a role, great companies do not rely on luck for their success. Instead, they create their own luck through disciplined effort and focus. Example: Collins shares the story of Gillette, which transformed itself from a struggling razor company into one of the most successful consumer products companies in the world. The company's leaders created their own luck by focusing on their core strengths and values. The lesson: do not rely on luck for your success. Create your own luck through disciplined effort and focus. 9. The importance of sustained success. Collins emphasizes the importance of sustained success in great companies. He explains that great companies achieve sustained success by focusing on their core strengths and values and by building a culture of discipline. Example: Collins shares the story of Wells Fargo, which achieved sustained success by focusing on its core strengths and values and by building a culture of discipline. The company's leaders were committed to long-term success rather than short-term gains. The takeaway: focus on achieving sustained success by focusing on your core strengths and values and by building a culture of discipline. 10. The role of humility and will. Collins discusses the importance of humility and will in achieving greatness. He explains that great companies are led by humble leaders who are committed to the success of the company rather than their own personal success. Example: Collins shares the story of Kimberly-Clark, which transformed itself from a mediocre paper company into a leading consumer products company. The company's leaders were humble and committed to the success of the company rather than their own personal success. The lesson: humility and will are essential for achieving greatness. Focus on the success of your organization rather than your own personal success. Actionable takeaways. Now that we've covered the key lessons, let's talk about how you can apply these principles in your own organization. Here are some actionable steps inspired by Good to Great. 1. Develop Level 5 leadership. Focus on the success of your organization, not your own personal success. Be humble and committed to the long-term success of your company. 2. Get the right people on the bus. Focus on hiring the right people and then figuring out the strategy. The right people will help you figure out the best strategy. 3. Confront the brutal facts. Face reality head-on, but never lose faith in your ability to succeed. This combination of realism and optimism is essential for achieving greatness. 4. Focus on the hedgehog concept. Focus on what you can be the best at, what drives your economic engine, and what you are deeply passionate about. The intersection of these three circles is where greatness lies. 5. Build a culture of discipline. Focus on hiring disciplined people and creating a clear set of values and goals. A culture of discipline is essential for achieving greatness. 6. Use technology as an accelerator. Use technology to accelerate your momentum, but do not rely on it as a primary driver of success. Focus on your core strengths and values. 7. Build momentum with the flywheel. Focus on building momentum through consistent, disciplined effort. Avoid the doom loop by staying focused on your core strengths and values. 8. Create your own luck. Do not rely on luck for your success. Create your own luck through disciplined effort and focus. 9. Achieve sustained success. Focus on achieving sustained success by focusing on your core strengths and values and by building a culture of discipline. 10. Embrace humility and will. Focus on the success of your organization rather than your own personal success. Humility and will are essential for achieving greatness. Criticisms and controversies. While Good to Great has been widely praised for its insights and research, it's not without its critics. Some argue that the book's focus on publicly traded companies may not be applicable to small businesses or startups. Others believe that the book's emphasis on discipline and focus may lead to a lack of innovation and adaptability. However, the book's strength lies in its ability to provide a clear, data-driven roadmap for achieving greatness in business. Even if not every principle is applicable to every organization, the core ideas of Level 5 leadership, the hedgehog concept, and the flywheel are valuable for any business leader. Conclusion: Good to Great is a must-read for any business leader or entrepreneur looking to take their organization to the next level. Jim Collins' research-backed insights, compelling stories, and practical advice make this book an invaluable resource for achieving greatness in business. Whether you're leading a small business, a startup, or a large corporation, this book will give you the tools to build a great company that stands the test of time. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more book summaries and personal finance tips. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway from Good to Great is, or if there's another book you'd like me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.